Welcome, you're watching Kaleidoscope Srilanka Life News Capsule. Sri Lanka has a large user base of digital products, way higher than the regional average. And we've had a technology-based society of plenty of political slogans and government directives in the past several years. Where are we actually at though? Is the law equipped to handle the digital age? Here to download some insight is Thanuki, Goonesinghe, attorney at law and emerging technology lawyer, joining me in the studio. Thanuki, your work with the law and the digital age has shown us one thing, that our country's state systems are somewhat in the Middle Ages on all counts almost. What is it that's lacking?
I think one of the first things that I would say is lacking is ambition and this mindset and a culture that is interested in facilitating innovation. So that's one thing. And I think that's evidenced by the fact that we have a lot of brain drain also because that facilitation is not there. And another thing I see is that our legal framework isn't able to protect rights and foster innovation. Agility is lacking in the sense that we are in a state of comfort, and this is very true for state institutions. We're in a state of comfort that we don't want to come out of that, and we're comfortable with status quo, and that is what makes us, lag behind in terms of embracing new technology.
So as a country, what sort of disadvantages do we have for the fact that we don't have any tech law or policies in place?
The lack of tech laws, or let's say inadequacy, will first and foremost create an issue of protection. So if there is not enough protection, that leads to stifling innovation, because there's two ways you can look at this. One is if you have uncertainty in terms of laws, that means there's going to be disputes, so people are not going to be too interested in investing and even putting time towards developing something new. On the other hand, if it is restrictive regulation, like in Sri Lanka we saw with the Online Safety Act, where regulations become restrictive, that also stifles innovation, because you don't want to be in an environment where you have to think a million times before taking a certain action. That is not how innovation progresses. Investment doesn't come in if we don't have the right laws in place. And maybe we can add to that this further pushes that digital divide that is there.
Have we taken any steps at all towards becoming tech savvy?
I do think that there is quite a bit of work going on. If we look at the ICTA, if we look at SLASCOM, Sri Lanka CERT, and even there are private organizations, private actors who are taking this message, even especially out of Colombo. There's a lot of outreach, even in vernacular languages, taking technology adoption to schools, to universities, having lots of career fair weeks where you're explaining the different opportunities that you have in these areas. I've seen companies investing in tech-specific education. So yes, there are initiatives. There is a conversation that is ongoing. But what we need is consistency.
It comes across, given our lack of advancement, that our policymakers are frightened of technology.
Sri Lanka, I think culture is very averse to change. We fear change. So I think unless we're able to break and go beyond that, we're going to constantly be stuck in this situation where we do not have innovation, we do not prioritize tech in that way.
So given your experience in the legal sector and also on the tech side, where do we need to focus on as a nation to get the highest return?
Looking at the legal side of things, I think one of the first things that need to be prioritized is legal tech. Look at online dispute resolution mechanisms. Look at ways where we can expedite the outcomes from the legal system, because right now Sri Lanka has a severe backlog in our courts, and so other companies, big tech, are not necessarily going to come and set up shop here because they know that in the event of a dispute they're going to get stuck. So that is something that we need to invest in. We need to give our fullest effort. We need to look at disrupting the system. I think this is something that the government should do, deliberately push us into the deep end so that we have no choice but to adopt these technologies and adapt to it.
Kaleidoscope is on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. Subscribe, follow and like us for more.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Srilanka Life.